And yes, it's almost draft time again, folks. It will be here before you know it. Jets and Giants fans, what you can expect and what Mel Kiper thinks they're going to pick. And don't forget, you can pick us, New York Minute, and subscribe and like. And leave a comment below. Who do you think the Jets and Giants should draft? Enough out of me. Let's get to the video clip.
Let's start with Cam Ward. Why do you think he's going to be the first quarterback off the board? Tell me.
I think arm strength, all the arm angles he can throw with, and certainly for Cleveland, I think in the weather conditions in Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, it makes sense to go with a guy that has a stronger arm. Obviously more mobile than Shedeur as well. You saw him at Incarnate Word at Washington State, out in Pullman, dealing with weather conditions here, throwing on the move accurately down the field. Cleveland, obviously, with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow in that division, all those great quarterbacks in the AFC, need to get it going at quarterback. Obviously, Deshaun Watson trade, one of the worst, if not the worst in NFL history. So now you go. You reset it. You get Cam Ward. You got yourself, if he is as good as he could be, now you get yourself a quarterback in that division in the AFC that can go toe-to-toe.
It's really weird as a Jet fan. I kind of was high on Ward before I just heard that the Cleveland Browns want him. So the Cleveland Browns organization wants Ward. Stay away from them because they never pick anybody. Couch, Manziel. I mean, the list goes on and on of failed Cleveland quarterbacks.
With all those other great signal callers.
Mel, great to see you, buddy, as always. You know, they talk about Travis Hunter out of Colorado, the Heisman Trophy winner, and they say, you know, he's the best player in college football. First of all, do you think anybody, someone like the New York Giants or what have you, would take him before they take a quarterback? Or do you think they'll go the route of a quarterback?
Ooh, there goes moving to Paris.
Stephen A., I think the Giants could take Travis Hunter over Shedeur Sanders. Travis Hunter, if you're picking where you are and you get the best player in
the route of a quarterback.
Stephen A., I think the
New York Giants or what have you would take him before they take a quarterback? Or do you think they'll go the route of a quarterback?
Stephen A., I think the Giants could take Travis Hunter over Shedeur Sanders. Travis Hunter, if you're picking where you are and you get the best player in the draft, that's pretty doggone good. Travis Hunter, people say, well, is he not a great corner? Is he a great receiver? He's played both. He hasn't played just one. He hasn't said, okay, I'm going to put all my energy into one spot. And I talk about energy. How about the energy you lose playing both ways in college and being as physical as he is and being out there for every snap? This kid is unbelievable. He is generational, and he's going to let it play out, see where he's best, and sprinkle him in at the other spot. So for the Giants that need help with both corner and wide receiver, he would make a lot of sense. Obviously, Matthew Stafford, somebody's got to come in at quarterback. If it's Stafford, whoever it may be.
Let me know what you think in the comments. Travis Hunter, would you rather have him just be a wide receiver, just be a cornerback, or play both ways if you drafted him to your team? Let me know in the comments below.
That would allow them to go with another player, another position, like a Travis Hunter.
That's where I was headed, Mel. I think you saying that they would look past the door to maybe take Travis Hunter. Is that predicated on them getting a quarterback in free agency? Barkley, Barkley, getting the quarterback from Minnesota in free agency, or making a trade for Matthew Stafford? Is it predicated on that?
Yes, Shannon, it definitely is. It's Matthew Stafford there. It's Sam Darnold with the Raiders, because I had them passing on Shedeur and letting him fall to the Jets. So all that is predicated on those teams going a different.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. You heard it here from Sam Darnold going to the Oakland Raiders, and that's why they don't need him at 6. I was like, why are they picking a running back at 6, according to Mel Kiper's board? But apparently they go and get Sam Darnold, their man, and then they get the running back from Boise State. And that offense would be kind of stacked.
Direction with a proven entity at the quarterback position, which would allow them to take a player more highly rated. There's not universal love out there for either quarterback. In other drafts, Cam Ward wouldn't be going this high. Shedeur Sanders, I had people say if his name was Shedeur Jones, he wouldn't be nearly as high.
You know what's funny? I was saying that to a friend the other day, that quarterback stocks go up in the drafts because people they're the only 2 girls at the dance. So people start talking these 2 girls up, and everyone thinks that they're hot now. And the 2 girls are the 2 quarterbacks available in the draft. And you just like them because they're the best available. It doesn't mean it's the right pick for your team. And I think the New York Giants proved one thing, that getting the wrong quarterback can push your franchise back about 5 years. When they drafted Daniel Jones, the Giants have been not able to get off the mat. They had that one playoff appearance, but look at where their organization has been since Daniel Jones took the reins. So why go for a Ward or a Sanders if you're not 100% on them? As a Jet fan, I don't want an organization with all new coaches, new GM, taking a new quarterback. I don't know. I would feel a lot more comfortable if Tyrod Taylor took the reins, brought in a new quarterback, and tried to develop him behind him in the 3rd or 4th round.
His business like the old school traditional quarterbacks did. Burrow's doing it now. Brady did it at 44, won a Super Bowl. Manning did it. This notion you can't be traditional old school and win in the NFL at quarterback is garbage to me.
You talked about Cam Ward, more mobility, a stronger arm. Can you highlight for the audience cases in which that mode of thinking actually hurt NFL teams instead of helped them?
Well, I think you look at it really when you go to even when Ryan Leaf was coming out with Peyton Manning. There were people that said that the revisionist history is always done. And Shannon, you know this, and Stephen A., you know as well as anybody. Everybody does it. Brian Billick had said it a long time ago. We all look 15, 20 years ago and act like everybody loved that quarterback and everybody was down on that quarterback that was a bust. When you go back and look at real time, that was not the case. 50% of the league loved Peyton Manning, 50% of the people love Ryan Leaf. Turned out Bill Polian and the Colts took Peyton Manning. Great pick. Ryan Leaf wasn't. It's happened before. It happens again. Now we're trying to decide between old school, traditional, and Shedeur, and what the NFL likes now, which is a guy who can all different arm angles, rolling left, rolling right, being a little reckless, a little careless with the football. Cam Ward's got to shore that up. A fumble being reckless and careless in the first quarter of a game in the ACC doesn't matter, right? But it matters in the NFL. Look at Will Levis. I like Will. I still have hope for Will. But that one big mistake is the reason why Will Levis has a lot to prove still in the NFL. Shedeur Sanders is a guy, if you give him time to.
See, I think the perfect example would be the Super Bowl this year. You have two guys that aren't scramblers, and they're not pocket passers. They're a hybrid. So you wouldn't say, that Patrick Mahomes is a running quarterback. But Jalen Hurts is not really a running quarterback, but he is at the goal line. So these are two guys that have two accurate arms that are good passers that also can scramble, kind of like a Russell Wilson in his prime, but better than that.
To throw. He will, with his accuracy, his toughness, the way he sees things. To me, he has a chance to be great if he has players around him that can allow that to happen. Cam will, with a bad situation up front, can create a little bit on his own. Shedeur necessarily can't as well, but I believe rolling right, rolling left, Shedeur can do it really well. And on 3rd and 8, he can get you a first down running the football. He's proven that. So, like I said, I really like Shedeur. I understand why people are down a little bit because he doesn't have the big-time arm. He's not going to run a great 40. He's not physically imposing from a size standpoint. I get all that, but he's well-suited and well-equipped to deal with the bright lights, the expectations of New York City with the New York Jets.
He doesn't have a strong arm. He's not quick out of the pocket, so he can handle pressure well. That's it. I mean, there's a lot of guys that can handle pressure in the NFL, but it doesn't mean that you want them to be in the first round, and especially in the top 10 pick. I don't know, man. Sanders and Ward, I do not believe in these guys. Do you believe in these guys? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that these guys are going to be big busts, or they're going to be the next big thing? Because I don't think there's anywhere in between with these two guys.
That would be a really good match for Shedeur Sanders.
I'm still not happy with the grade you gave me coming out in 1990, but I'm going to look past that.
What was it?
I have that book back there, Shannon. It was pretty doggone good, by the way.
You said the running back position. I'm looking at Ashton Jeanty and what he was able to do, 2,600 yards, 30 total touchdowns. Seems like he would be an ideal pick for the Dallas Cowboys, but that's not where you have Dallas going. Why?
Well, 2 running backs. So you say, why does Kiper have 2? It's a philosophy. It's not a rating. My rating has Jeanty up at 4 and Hampton at 19. Okay, I had McCaffrey high. I had Zeke high. I had Bijan high. But the philosophy is don't take a running back in the first round. But you don't grade on philosophy. You grade on ability. Jeanty to the Raiders, who couldn't run the football. Pete Carroll wants to do that. Makes sense. Dallas has had success taking first-round running backs. Emmitt Smith, Zeke Elliott. That's what they need, right? They get Amarian Hampton, who's a guy who's a very underrated running back for what he did at North Carolina. People forgot because North Carolina struggled. They forgot how good he was and how good he was 2 years in a row.
What's funny is that the performance of Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl last year, before last year, it was the Giants were absolutely crazy for drafting Saquon Barkley where they did in the top 5. The team can't do that. The value of the running back was down. They were trying to devalue their value at about $14 million a year, $10 million a year. The Giants wouldn't even give Saquon 14. Then Saquon goes out and has the year that he has. Henry has the year that he has. Becomes the year of the running back, and Saquon Barkley goes and wins the Super Bowl. So now all the people that just said it was dumb for the Giants to get a running back, now everybody's rushing back to that same philosophy where you could see 2 running backs going in the first round.
Jeanty is a phenomenal running back. So for me now, with Barkley leading the Eagles, helping lead the Eagles to a Super Bowl win, this is a copycat league, and I think people now are getting back to the running back position. I've always said it's critical, it's important. I've always talked about the 2nd through 7th round running backs that you can get, but certainly these 2 running backs are well deserving of going in round 1 and would be major additions.
Because a lot of people's thinking is that you can get a running back in the 6th round, like a Pacheco in the Chiefs, and that guy's got 2 Super Bowl rings. So it is possible to get a running back in the later rounds, but when you have a talent like that, like a Zeke Elliott, like an Emmitt Smith, like this guy, like an Edridge James, almost like a Ricky Williams, when you have guys like that, you kind of throw the playbook out, no pun intended, because these guys are generational talents. Look at Saquon Barkley.
What move would you make?
I'm big on Shedeur, but I think I understand why you would go away from it. Like I said, he doesn't have the wow factor. I understand that. And certainly, Cam Ward, you look at what he, in a draft that was a little stronger, be as highly rated as he is, or up there at the top. No, he would not. I get that. But to say that for Shedeur, for me, if I'm looking and I say I need a quarterback, I understand why people would have mixed views and mixed opinions within their front office on Shedeur. I've been a big Shedeur guy, but this is a mock draft. It's based on what you're hearing, and I think there's a chance that Shedeur can drop just a